You were asleep, but something inside you was trying to wake up. A strange dream, a shadowy figure, a place you've never been, but somehow remembered. These weren't just random images from your subconscious. According to Edgar Cayce, they were messages. The soul, he said, knows far more than the conscious mind, and it speaks in silence, when the ego is asleep and the spirit is free. Most people shrug off their dreams as nonsense, but Cayce believed they are one of the most powerful ways our soul tries to guide us. Every symbol, every moment, every feeling in a dream can hold meaning, if you know how to read it. In this video, we'll uncover 8 specific types of dreams that, according to Cayce's readings, carry real warnings, guidance, and even glimpses of future events. These dreams are not imagination. They are a forgotten language, and your soul is still trying to speak it. This isn't mysticism. This is decoding the truth. While we move through the world in waking life, our minds are flooded with noise, thoughts, distractions, responsibilities, and the constant chatter of the ego. But when we fall asleep, something powerful happens. The conscious mind quiets, the ego releases its grip, and what remains is the purest space for the soul to speak. Edgar Cayce believed that dreams are not just mental leftovers from the day, but a sacred channel through which our higher self, and even divine guidance, can reach us. In his many trance readings, Cayce described sleep as a state in which the soul becomes untethered from the limits of the physical body. In this freer, more fluid state, we are more receptive to spiritual truths and insights that our waking mind might ignore or suppress. He called dreams a laboratory for the soul, a space where higher energies can show us truths too subtle or too profound to grasp when we're awake. But why dreams? Cayce explained that during sleep, our subconscious mind connects with the universal spiritual plane. It's here that the soul can replay important moments, simulate future decisions, or receive symbols and messages from higher forces, such as spirit guides or even divine intelligence. In other words, dreams allow for communication that bypasses logic and speaks in the soul's original language, symbolism, feeling, and vibration. Importantly, Cayce taught that thoughts are real forces. Just because we're not awake doesn't mean our thoughts are inactive. In fact, in the dream state, thoughts can become even more powerful, capable of manifesting as images, places, and experiences. A thought of fear can appear as a storm or shadow. A thought of love may come as a warm light or the embrace of someone we've lost. These are not hallucinations. They are energetic reflections, shaped by the same forces that build the soul's path. Cayce's readings often emphasize that the dream world is not a separate illusion, but a mirror of the deeper reality. In sleep, we are closer to our true nature. We are not limited by our body, our age, our past. We are simply the soul in motion. And in this space, we are capable of remembering who we are, where we've been, and what we came here to learn. So when a dream feels strange but meaningful, or leaves you with a strong emotion you can't explain, take notice. It might not be your imagination, it might be your soul, finally getting a chance to speak. Edgar Cayce was clear. Some dreams are more than symbolic, they are warnings. According to his readings, the soul can see what the conscious mind cannot, and it often tries to send signals through dreams to protect us. 2 of the most important types of these dreams are those that warn us of physical illness and those that alert us to danger in the outer world, such as betrayal, loss, or even accidents. Cayce often said that illness begins not in the body, but in the mind and spirit. The soul, being aware of imbalances long before symptoms appear, may use a dream to draw our attention to something developing internally. In one of his documented readings, a man repeatedly dreamed of walking through a dark tunnel, feeling heavy and suffocated. Cayce interpreted this as a sign of circulatory issues, specifically a heart problem, which medical tests later confirmed. After changing his lifestyle, the dream stopped. In another case, a woman dreamed of a mirror cracking across her chest, which Cayce connected to an early stage of breast disease. That warning gave her time to seek help and begin treatment before the illness progressed. These dreams are not random. They often come with a strong emotional charge, a sense of urgency, discomfort, or repeated imagery that doesn't fade with waking. Cayce advised paying special attention to recurring dreams, or those that produce fear or a sense of knowing. The soul, he said, will keep trying until the message is received. The second type of warning dream involves danger in the external world. Cayce documented several cases where individuals dreamed of car accidents, dishonest business partners, or emotional betrayal, sometimes weeks before the event occurred. These dreams didn't just hint at danger, they showed it symbolically or directly. One man dreamed of a bridge collapsing while he tried to cross it. The next day, he canceled a road trip that would have taken him across a similar bridge, which, shockingly, did collapse due to structural failure a week later. In another reading, a woman dreamed her best friend was wearing a mask and speaking in a foreign language. Cayce interpreted this as a symbolic betrayal, and sure enough, the friend had been concealing important information that soon came to light. The key to understanding these dreams, Cayce said, is learning to tell the difference between anxiety-based images and true soul warnings. Anxiety dreams tend to be chaotic, non-specific, or fleeting. Warning dreams, by contrast, are vivid, emotionally intense, and often unforgettable. They may come once with shocking clarity, or repeat until the dreamer takes action. For Cayce, dreams were not just echoes of stress. They were a guidance system built into the soul, meant to alert us to danger both within and around us. He taught that listening to these dreams and acting on them with courage and care was a form of spiritual maturity. After all, the soul wants one thing: for us to grow and survive long enough to fulfill our purpose. When a dream feels like more than a dream, it probably is. Listen carefully. Your life may depend on it. Some dreams feel strange but familiar, like stepping into a memory you never made. You might see a place you've never visited, meet someone you've never known, or live through events that seem to belong to another time. Edgar Cayce believed these dreams were not fiction. They were glimpses into past lives, windows into the soul's long journey through time. According to Cayce, the soul doesn't forget. It carries every lesson, every unresolved experience, and every karmic knot from lifetime to lifetime. And in dreams, it sometimes shows us where we've been so we can understand where we are. Cayce documented dozens of readings where people came to him with dreams they couldn't explain. One man dreamt of fighting in armor on a medieval battlefield. He felt a deep fear, heard unfamiliar voices, and woke up with chest pain. Cayce revealed that this was not imagination. It was a memory from a past life as a soldier who died in battle. The recurring pain was not random either. It was the body echoing the trauma the soul hadn't fully healed from. Another woman dreamed of walking through a temple filled with light, where she spoke a language unknown to her in waking life. She described intricate rituals and symbols she had never studied. Cayce said she had once been a priestess in ancient Egypt, and her soul was reminding her of spiritual knowledge she still carried. These dreams often feel deeply emotional, filled with longing, sadness, or unexplained affection. You might dream of a person you've never met, but feel overwhelming love or grief. Or you might dream of a specific location that seems more like home than your actual home. Cayce explained that the soul creates these dreams to help us resolve unfinished business. When a lesson from a past life remains incomplete, or when karma from a previous existence still needs to be understood, the soul brings it forward, often in symbolic or emotionally charged dreams. One of the most telling patterns Cayce observed was the dream that repeats. Recurring dreams, especially those with the same emotional theme or setting, can be signs of unresolved karma. A person might repeatedly dream of drowning, being trapped, or losing something precious. While the dream may take different forms, the emotional message remains. Cayce encouraged people to look at these dreams not as curses, but as clues, messages from the soul pointing toward healing, forgiveness, or change. He emphasized that we are not victims of our karma, but students of it. The soul wants growth, not punishment, and through dreams, it gently, or sometimes urgently, shows us what still needs our attention. Whether it's a relationship we must mend, a fear we must face, or a truth we must finally accept, these dreams carry the weight of many lifetimes. They are not meant to confuse or torment us, but to free us from repeating the same patterns unconsciously. Cayce believed that once a karmic pattern is seen and understood, it begins to loosen its grip. Dreams can be the first step in this process, a spiritual signal that the soul is ready to evolve. And perhaps that is their greatest gift. They do not just show us the past, They offer us a chance to change the future. Some dreams are so vivid, so emotionally powerful, that they leave us shaken long after we wake. You see the face of someone you've lost. They speak to you, hold your hand, or simply appear with a calm presence. It feels more real than memory, and often it is. According to Edgar Cayce, dreams involving deceased loved ones or spiritual guides are not mere illusions. They are real encounters taking place on a level beyond physical perception. In these moments, the soul opens its space, and others step inside. Cayce often describes such dreams as genuine contact between souls. When we sleep, he explained, the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world becomes thinner. The conscious mind sleeps, but the soul remains alert, and that opens a doorway. Loved ones who have passed on may enter that space, not to haunt or disturb, but to bring peace, healing, or even warnings. These are not fantasy images created by grief. Cayce believed these souls temporarily reconnect with us with permission from a higher source to deliver something meaningful. In his readings, Cayce recounted stories where deceased relatives came to say goodbye shortly after death, often before the dreamer had even learned they had passed. In other cases, souls visited years later to offer forgiveness, encouragement, or guidance. One woman grieving her mother dreamed of her mother appearing in a garden, radiant and healthy. The mother simply said, "I'm free now, and I'm proud of you." The dream brought peace that years of mourning had not. Cayce confirmed that the encounter was real. The message, he said, was not the mind comforting itself. It was the soul being comforted by another. Alongside loved ones, Cayce spoke of another presence in dreams: the spiritual teacher or guide. These beings don't always resemble people from our lives. Often, they are figures of light, wise strangers, or nameless entities that radiate calm and wisdom. In dreams, they may lead us through unfamiliar landscapes, show us visions, or simply speak with clarity we rarely experience when awake. The most remarkable aspect, Cayce noted, is that the soul always recognizes them, even if the conscious mind does not. You may not know their name, but in the dream, you trust them completely. Such dreams are often accompanied by profound emotions, a sense of being loved unconditionally, deep understanding, or the sudden lifting of a long-held burden. Cayce emphasized that these dreams are meant to strengthen the soul. Guides appear not to impress, but to teach. They may help us see past confusion, release guilt, or remember who we truly are beyond the surface of daily life. Importantly, these encounters are not limited to the deeply religious or spiritually trained. Cayce taught that all people have guides, and that the departed continue to care for us. We are never alone, he said. And in dreams, this truth is sometimes allowed to shine through. Whether it's a parent appearing to reassure a child, a sibling delivering a warning, or a luminous figure guiding you through symbolic terrain, these dreams leave a mark on the soul. They are not ordinary, they are sacred. And perhaps the most powerful part is this: they remind us that love does not end with death. It evolves. It reaches across the divide, and when the time is right, it speaks to us, often in the quiet space between two worlds, while we dream. There are dreams that do not reflect the past or the present, but something that hasn't happened yet. You wake up with an image burned into your mind, a scene, a voice, a moment that feels like a memory from the future. These are prophetic dreams. According to Edgar Cayce, the soul, being beyond the limits of time and space, can at times glimpse events before they unfold. These dreams are not meant to impress us with supernatural insight, but to guide us toward choices, actions, and awareness that align with our spiritual path. Cayce spoke often of time as a river, where the soul, standing on higher ground, can sometimes see the bends ahead. In this elevated state during sleep, the soul may be shown a possible future, not fixed, but forming, based on current actions, thoughts, and energy patterns. Cayce warned that not all prophetic dreams come true exactly as seen. Many are symbolic, offering emotional or energetic warnings, not always literal predictions. For example, one of Cayce's clients dreamt of standing in a field while a black cloud covered the sky. Birds fell from the air. The dream was terrifying. Cayce interpreted it not as a vision of physical disaster, but as a symbolic warning of a coming emotional or spiritual collapse. A crisis the person could still prevent through changed behavior. In another case, a man dreamed of a bridge snapping beneath his feet days before receiving a job offer that would have taken him to a corrupt company. The soul, Cayce explained, sometimes uses dreams to deliver a message the waking mind would never accept directly. But how can we know when a dream is truly prophetic? Cayce taught that these dreams have several qualities in common. They are often unusually clear and emotionally charged. They may contain vivid colors, specific dates or symbols, or feelings that linger long after waking. They may repeat, and they often carry a sense of weight, as if the dream is not asking to be remembered, but demanding it. Importantly, Cayce emphasized that such dreams are not given to frighten us. They are acts of grace. The soul does not show the future to punish or control, but to offer choice. Prophetic dreams are spiritual tools. They ask us to reflect, prepare, and sometimes change course. They remind us that the future is not fully written and that the soul always seeks the highest outcome. Some dreams may show joyous moments ahead, a reunion, a birth, a success that seems far away. Others may reveal danger, endings, or truths we've been avoiding. In either case, the purpose is the same: to bring awareness, to sharpen intuition, and to remind us that life is more than it seems. Dreams are not only about what was, they are also about what might be. As Cayce once said, the soul speaks in dreams to protect, to teach, and to awaken. Every night, it whispers messages to us, sometimes quiet, sometimes urgent, always meaningful. The question is not whether the soul speaks. The question is, are we listening?